Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the MGM Grand here at Foxwoods Resort and Casino in beautiful Mashantucket, Connecticut for the main event of the evening. East-West Showdown. 12 rounds of boxing scheduled for the WBC Welterweight Championship of the World. Brought to you by Lou DiBella's DiBella Entertainment in association with Golden Boy Promotions. Sponsored by Corona, La Cerveza Más Fina, and AT&T, Rethink Possible. Sanctioned by the Mashantucket Pequot Athletic Commission, Chairman George Henningsen, and the World Boxing Council, President Jose Suleiman. Supervisor in attendance, Mike George. Your three judges scoring this contest ringside, Glenn Feldman, Julie Letterman, and Clark Sammartino. Your referee, Michael Ortega. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the four corners of the world to the four corners of this ring, here at the MGM Grand Foxwoods, live on HBO World Championship Boxing. The fight starts now. Introducing first, to my left, the challenger. Fighting out of the blue corner, wearing multicolored trunks. He weighed in at an even 146 pounds. He has an excellent professional record consisting of 28 victories against 2 defeats. He has 2 draws and 20 wins coming by way of knockout. From Ventura, California, by way of Kansas. Ranked number 5 in the world by the WBC, Vicious Victor Ortiz. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He wears blue and gray. This 2004 Olympian tipped the scales at a ready 145.5 pounds. He has a perfect professional record. 27 fights, 27 victories, 21 wins coming by way of knockout. From Winter Haven, Florida, ladies and gentlemen, the reigning, defending, undefeated WBC welterweight champion of the world, Andre Berto.
All right, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want a good, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Good luck to both of you. Touch them up.
Is there an exciting, must-see American fighter in the house?
Stay in your corner.
They were contemporaries as amateurs. They never knew each other personally. Ortiz has been throwing around very menacing comments recently, quoting Mike Tyson. Berto was amused. Both guys have come out throwing very hard punches to begin the fight.
Very fast, crisp, hard punches. all the way around, the general footwork and the punches are coming very fast in this fight. It's almost like a fast-paced amateur fight.
Emmanuel, how do you expect the fight to go?
Well, I think Berto is going to try to win back because he's more explosive. Probably one of the most explosive fighters that I've known. But physically, I think he's still stronger, even though the other guy, Ortiz, weighed in better. I think that the physical strength and maybe the mental strength probably of Berto may carry him through. But on the other hand, Berto has a reputation of being questionable in terms of his ability to take a punch.
And if he's questionable in his ability to take a punch, then Victor Ortiz may well be able to exploit that. But so far in the first round, Berto is busier, and down goes Berto on a hard left hand by Ortiz, and Michael Ortega is not going to rule it a knockdown. He's going to say that Berto tripped over Ortiz's foot. Ortega immediately made the ruling. He's a good referee who's a former fighter and sees pretty well.
Right. Step back, watch your head.
From here, it looked like the punch did it, but you may be right, Jim. There could have been a trip.
Right.
It
No,
wasn't
we're
a
going to find
clean
out
punch,
on replay, I hope.
but it wasn't a clean punch. But normally, if you go down the result of a blow landing anywhere above the waist, and it did, even if it was a grazing blow, he blocked. He wouldn't have went down there had I been hit.
Berto staggered again. Straight left hand by Ortiz. And Berto does go down in the corner this time, so now Ortiz has the credit for the knockdown that he didn't get the first time around.
Hey, here we go.
Andre Berto has a whole new respect for Victor Ortiz's punching power.
And
Ortiz can't wait.
Ortiz has come out here to prove that he is a fighter inside as well as outside, and has taken it to Berto. I find myself surprised by that.
I'm stunned. Berto pastes Ortiz with a big right hand. Ortiz walks through it, keeps throwing. Berto blocking the shot. Ortiz is trying to get rid of him right here.
This will be a very interesting fight. You know, Berto was known for being in these type fights in the amateurs a lot and surviving most of them. But I don't know what's going to happen tonight.
Let him out.
He's faced some adversity in his professional career, particularly against Luis Collazo in a fight that a lot of people thought Collazo might have won. Berto came from behind in the late rounds to reel in Collazo. Don't know if he's been hit with as big a shot as the left hand that put him down in the corner by Victor Ortiz.
Berto said the ring is a cold place where the truth comes out. What truth have we just seen?
And he almost fell off the stool as he sat down.
Listen. Don't worry about that shit. Okay? Don't worry about that shit. You got to stay short, stay on your feet, all right? Don't stay in front of him. I told you.
Here we see the left hand shot that landed by Ortiz, even though it wasn't a clean blow, to me officially was a knockdown. That was still, if he didn't land the blow, he would not have fell down.
He did, in fact, make contact with the front
foot. And here we had, it was a shot that came through the straight left, followed with the right hand, and that he was really knocked down at this time after this shot here. And this was called the official knockdown.
The uppercut was part of the damage. The first two punches were also part of the damage. Berto was clearly wobbly and woozy at that point. Power shots in round one. Ortiz landed 22 out of 48.
But, you know, Ortiz is really sharper, a little bit more crisp. But Berto, as I said earlier, has been in these type fights and won them a lot.
Let's see if Berto has his composure back.
Yeah, very explosive, and he still has a lot of fire in him.
Yeah.
But I think he's hurt also still.
We have to keep in mind that Ortiz has been a fast starter.
Keep your punches in front. Keep them in front. Let's go.
His loss to Maidana as well as in the draw with Peterson.
Let him out.
He knocked Maidana down 3 times. Often forgotten in light of how Maidana ultimately got the better of him physically in the fight.
Berto seems to be still hurt from that first round. I don't think he's fully recuperated.
But he's fighting and going at Ortiz from time to time and settling into a little bit of a rhythm now in round 2.
Well, already this is a better fight than the last time 2 American guys got into the showdown back in January, Bradley and Alexander.
Certainly Bradley and Alexander didn't produce anything like the fireworks we saw in the first round here. Good uppercut by Berto.
Let him out. Break. Step back.
Ortiz is trying to land one more big right hook.
Let him out. Let's go. Step back.
I think it's his
Right.
most effective
Listen
punch,
up, guys.
Emmanuel.
Listen
Yeah,
up.
Ortiz
Let's
is
go.
trying to keep his punches compact, taking his time. He's trying to land his 1 or 2 short punches. There you go, those short, compact punches.
And remember, he's another southpaw who is basically a right-hander.
Berto has a look of concern in his eyes, unlike anything we've seen during his professional career.
Let's go.
Clearly, his confidence has been rocked by what Ortiz has brought in the first 2 rounds.
It's not just his confidence, Jim, it's his whole state of mind coming into this fight, that he was facing an inferior
Right.
fighter.
Let him out, step back.
And he can't think
Step
that
back,
now.
Step back.
He landed a terrific right-hand shot in the corner, but Ortiz took it and stayed right there.
That's as good a news for Ortiz as the fact that he knocked him down in the first round, that he was able to take that punch the way he did.
All of Ortiz's punches are very
There's the
straight
right hand
shots.
again, and now Berto has a knockdown.
That's an official knockdown, but it was probably due to balance, but still it's an official knockdown.
Ortiz's glove touched the canvas. It was clearly the result of the punch.
Right?
So now, 3 times fighters have been on the canvas. The first one was ruled a trip. The second are knockdowns, or the second and third are knockdowns for, respectively, Ortiz and now Berto. And Berto's landing his straight right hand, and you've already seen the damage it can do. What a start.
At this moment, both fighters are better than we thought they were.
Listen to what I'm going to tell you. He's throwing that left hand from far. Don't throw it that way. Get closer. Get closer and move to the right. Get in and throw. And only throw when you're on the inside and move to the right. Remember what we talked about. Step to the outside and put the left in with your head to the right. Remember?
Here you see Berto step back, shoot a perfect time right hand, and at the same time that Ortiz was coming in with his legs off balance. He's trying to catch his balance, but it was an official clean knockdown. I don't think Ortiz was hurt that bad when he got to his feet, but he was knocked down with a clean right hand.
And that was the second flush right-hand shot that Berto landed in that round. Power punches in the second round. Berto only 5 of 14, but 2 of them were those big right hands. Ortiz 16 out of 32. So Ortiz remains the busier fighter, more willing to let his hands go, more fearless in the first couple of rounds. But Berto is starting to put his mark on the fight.
Can he remember to duck from that right hand?
Break. Let him out. Step back. Box. Don't backhand.
We wait to see if a boxing match will emerge from the slugfest which has taken place so far. But they're back to slugging again.
But Berto is still never, to me, fully recuperated from the first round. Even though he landed the knockdown, Ortiz wasn't hurt that bad when he got up as compared to the way Berto was when he went down.
Uppercut lands for Ortiz. Berto holding on.
Let him go.
Ortiz is fighting like a young man possessed.
Yeah, and
That
his
was a
punches
big
are short punches.
Left hand lands for Ortiz. Berto wobbling again as he goes back against the ropes.
Watch your head coming inside. Watch your head.
Ortiz had a big first round. He's having a big third. Berto hasn't yet seen the uppercut coming. And painted twice. Now he lands the right hand again.
Go, you're free. Let's go. Work. Watch your head. Watch your head inside. Right. Step back.
It's going to be a war of wills in there tonight.
They are testing each other.
Well, this is new for Ortiz. I saw Berto do this many times, but this is something new for Ortiz, and this will answer a lot of the questions that we have about him, about his mental toughness.
This is an examination for both of them. And right now they're both passing them. And nobody knows the way this fight is going to go.
Hard right hand by Berto. Another big hook by Ortiz inside. Another straight left hand lands for Ortiz. Berto keeps motioning Ortiz in as if to say, come on, if you want to brawl, let's really brawl.
But you let the guy keep throwing those punches. He's playing the numbers game. Sooner or later, something is going to land. I think Berto is really still weak. His legs is not durable enough, and that's why he needs to rest on those ropes.
Ortiz grinning at him, feeling it, enjoying what he's been able to do so far. And Berto alternating between looks of desperation and determination.
Listen, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. All right, take a deep breath. Listen, relax. All right, relax. You're gonna have to stay moving, shout those ropes. You hear me? You got a box. Touch his body, something, okay? Touch his body and break his ass down, okay?
Reach, you count him, man.
Stay off them fucking ropes. You understand me?
Everybody,
listen, don't worry about this. This is still, everything's in the third round. It was third round.
Although Ortiz didn't get to land a whole lot of devastating grip punches, I think this right uppercut between the gloves was probably the signature punch of the entire round.
Go in there, get on their feet, and listen and work. Listen, you're a fucking beast. Now show these people.
Berto is being asked questions here he's never had to answer before.
Through 3 rounds, Ortiz has already thrown nearly 150 power shots, landing 68 of them. That's an amazing start for him. Harold Letterman is celebrating his 25th year with HBO. Harold, how do you have it so far?
Okay, Jim, 28, 27, 2 rounds to 1, vicious Victor Ortiz. Jim, I gave each guy a 10-8 round for the knockdowns in round 1 and 2, but round 3, Victor Ortiz took it to Andre Berto laying on the ropes. I mean, I agree with you. I don't know why he kept motioning him in, because every time Berto would motion for Ortiz to come in, Ortiz would wrap him with a good shot. Anyway, 2 rounds to 1, Victor Ortiz.
Ortiz is a man on a mission tonight.
Yes, he looks like he's determined, focused, and this is the type of guy that I hate to go in a ring against with a fighter when they see that look in his eye, that I will not be determined. I will not be lose tonight. I will not be denied. And that's the way he's
2
fighting.
more hard shots. Another right hook for Ortiz. Another uppercut. He's landing these punches. Flush. Again, Berto motions him in.
What is that? Manuel, why is he doing that? Why is
Berto is hurt still. He's still tired. He's using the ropes because his legs is not that sturdy right now. And he needs the ropes to hold him up. Hold himself up.
But what's the motioning Ortiz in?
That's a mockery thing to act like I'm not hurt. Muhammad Ali started that when he fought Joe Frazier. That's something that fighters have picked up since then. But no, he's hurt and he's tired.
Big left hand by Berto. Ortiz walked right through it.
There you see the legs. That's why he's in the ropes, because of the legs.
If Ortiz would go to the body a few times, he might finish him.
But he's throwing everything upstairs.
Okay, listen.
And I get the feeling that Berto is kind of waiting and hoping that Ortiz is going to punch himself out with all this early aggression.
Well, it could happen, but it's a hard way to win, hoping the other guy punches himself out by hitting you.
Left hand.
Don't turn your back.
This time Berto took it a little better than has been the case with Ortiz's power shots before. Were it not for his second round knockdown, Berto would be falling way behind on the scorecard.
Yeah, but his legs are still weak to me.
He's still leaning against the ropes for support. Still motioning Ortiz in as round 4 comes to a close.
You're doing very good. Listen, let me tell you again. Again, you're doing good, but don't just throw the left slowly. Don't throw it slowly. Remember, this is a dangerous weapon you have. Throw it straight.
Next time, using his head inside, I'm gonna take a point.
What he's doing ropes, Bert. Listen, listen.
Fuck that, man.
Start bouncing. You hear me? Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. Start listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me.
It's now or
Listen to
never,
me.
man.
Listen to me. Start bouncing.
It's now or
Start
never.
bouncing and start boxing.
Hey, start working.
Deep
Start
breath.
working.
Give me a deep breath. Give me a deep breath.
Start jamming.
There's a lot of chatter in Andre Berto's corner, with Tony Morgan, the trainer, trying to talk to him, with his brother talking to him constantly between the ropes.
Watch your head.
The image of Ortiz coming into this fight, that he was more flighty than fighting. That he didn't have a real fighter's mentality. In 4 rounds, he may have destroyed that conviction that many people in the boxing world had.
Ortiz is averaging 65 punches thrown per round. How will his stamina hold up? Is the move to welterweight a rejuvenation for him? Because in his previous 9 fights, he's only averaging 45 punches thrown per round. So he's upped the punch output by 50%, while at the same time moving up in weight and fighting presumably a stronger opponent.
Well, you know, sometimes whatever your plans are, what happens in the ring changes everything. And he went out to get Berto's respect in the first round and found out that he could stand toe-to-toe with him. Now he's trying to go back to more of his skills.
Berto lands a few jabs, and then they trade another pair of big shots. Good, hard right hook inside by Ortiz. Ortiz still physically dominant into the 5th round. Ortiz testing Berto's legs once again.
Let him out. Step back.
Berto is fighting this fight as though he just needs one punch to change it all.
Well, he's been known for that a lot. You know, not in the profession, he hasn't been tested, but this is, as you said, Larry, this is a big test for Berto, too. He has never been in this type of a situation as a professional. Collazo was a tough fight, but not with a young, aggressive guy who's punching with the accuracy and the power of Ortiz. He's never been in this situation.
And look at the body that Ortiz has brought into the ring. I mean, the 161 pounds are one thing. Look at the lats, the deltoids. I mean, he is much more muscular even than the muscular Andre Berto.
It says that he should have been fighting this division probably. Like so many of the fighters are still trying to make weight all the time. But just because of opportunity to fight for a title, he went up and fought where he probably should have been fighting all the time.
This was part of the mantra for Ortiz coming into the fight, that he's been a welterweight fighting in the junior welterweight division. And right now, it looks every bit to be true.
Step back.
They're fighting in the welterweight division, where Andre Berto holds a title belt. The linear claim to welterweight division supremacy belongs to that man on the right of the screen, Floyd Mayweather. Not 50 Cent seated next to him, but rather Mayweather, who won the welterweight championship several years ago and has held on to it through all of his ring adventures since that time. Relatively inactive over the course of the past year and a half, and boxing fans wait to see when Floyd Mayweather will fight again.
I swear to me, listen to me, just listen to me. Just listen to me, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. All you have to do is boxing, and everything is follow.
You're gonna be the champ. You're gonna be the champ. You won the round. You won this one also.
Here you see Ortiz mixing up his combinations very well. Even though Berto has had a real tight defense, he's been able to find gaps, being on the outside, coming up between the gloves, doing a very effective job of shooting short, accurate punches.
If you've just tuned in, it has been blazing and thrilling so far. Victor Ortiz managed to put Andre Berto on the canvas twice in the first round. Only one was ruled a knockdown. Berto knocked Ortiz down in the second round. Ortiz strafed Berto with a lot of power shots in the third and fourth. They've settled in to box a little bit more in the fifth round, but by and large, it's still a slugfest, and the slugfest advantages have still seemed to belong to Victor Ortiz.
Ortiz told us a kind of peculiar story of winding up spending 2 weeks of a vacation on the tiny island of Jersey off the English coast. Nobody goes there for a vacation. Maybe that's where he found this.
This is the best start Berto's had in a round,
Don't hit him.
and he now seems confident enough in his legs to try to fight in the center of the ring. So let's see if he can get a fresh start in the fight. If it becomes a boxing match, Berto has faster hands.
You think anything about Berto fighting one round in the last year can be connected to this slow start for him, or is it just Ortiz?
I think it's Ortiz. Ortiz is fighting with such determination and with such short, accurate punches that it's very difficult for him to see. And just so much determination. You know, speaking of 50 Cent, who was over there with Floyd Mayweather Jr., he used to box. He was the New York Golden Glove champion.
See him? Did you see him fight?
No, I didn't see him fight, but I've worked with him when I was training Eminem. We was talking about that.
Let him out.
Glorious tradition, the Golden Gloves. Emmanuel, weren't you a national Golden Gloves champion?
Step back.
Yes, but he was in New York Golden Gloves.
Just making the distinction for you. Down goes Ortiz on a perfect right-hand shot by Berto. Second knockdown of the fight for Berto. And you can feel the fight changing perceptibly in this round. Berto stood in the center of the ring, feels confident in his legs again, now beats Ortiz to punch with the right hand.
Ortiz's legs are very weak here. This is the 6th round. It was the round that he lost to Maidana in. Can he escape now?
Hard right hand by Berto. That was a spectacular shot.
Great
but Ortiz
shot,
was held up partially by the ropes.
All Berto has to land one clean shot. He realizes the clock is ticking down, so he's trying to get that one shot off.
It's been a great round for Berto.
Yep.
After he was in so much trouble through the first 5. His uppercut is good too. Now Ortiz is going to...
Oh my God!
Unbelievable! What a fight! George Foreman and Ron Lyle stand aside.
And
We've got an amazing slugfest in Connecticut.
And you can see Mike Ortega getting in position to stop the fight. And then Berto goes down.
Unbelievable.
Berto got a little bit overexcited, tried to finish the fight, left himself open, and Ortiz had enough.
But he did what he was supposed to do. He was supposed to try to finish this guy. It just happens.
Victor, you kept throwing the left. Don't throw the left by itself. Keep it up.
That body, you understand me?
Ortiz coming in, didn't do anything wrong. Split second, that's what's boxing about. And he gets caught. And the same thing happens later on in the round. And here we're at the end with Berto getting caught the same way. No one did anything or made any mistake. It happens. That's what makes boxing so exciting.
Jaws are dropping all around this theater in Foxwoods, Connecticut. People are dumbfounded at what they're seeing. The phrase Fight of the Year candidate is perhaps a bit overused, but mark it down, baby. This is unreal. Power shots in 6, Berto 28 of 43, Ortiz 13 out of 32. Harold, how do you have it halfway through?
Look at you, 57, 55, 4 rounds to 2, Victor Ortiz. You know, Jim, let's talk about round 6. Both guys go down, okay? The winner in a round has to get 10 points. I thought Andre Berto, for about 2 minutes and 45 seconds, was doing more in the round than Victor Ortiz.
Let's go.
I scored a 10-9. In other words, not 10-8, but 10-9 for Andre Berto, because I thought that he did a little bit more in the 3 minutes of action. 4 rounds to 2, Ortiz.
Break, break. Watch your head, watch your head, watch your head. Let him out. All right, let him out. You're holding. You're holding. Watch your head.
I asked earlier if there was an American fighter in the house who was going to be must-see.
Yeah,
We've got 2 of them right now.
so far.
They're earning their reputation the hard way.
Let him out. Let's go.
But you know, you're looking at still, there seems to be still so much energy and strength. In particular, when I look at the legs of Ortiz as compared to Berto, it still shows to me he's got a lot more left in the tank.
There have been 5 official knockdowns in the fight. Ortiz has been down twice. Berto has been down 3 times officially. He was also down another time in the first round. It was ruled a trip by referee Michael Ortega. And these are not flash knockdowns. These are not timing punches. These are huge shots which are landing for both fighters.
Don't hit behind the head. Don't hit behind the head.
Oh my God.
Break, step back.
This is what you get
Break, let him out.
with
Let him out.
2
Step back.
young, ambitious fighters who want to be great men in this sport.
Break, step back.
All right, so I got a little overexcited. Producer David Harmon corrects me. There are 4 official knockdowns in the fight.
Break, let him out.
I thought I remembered 5. But who knows? There have been so many fireworks and so many things going on.
In this type of a fight, you entirely get overexcited.
Thank you.
Does anybody think we've seen the last knockdown in this fight?
Not I. Not as long as they're throwing what they're throwing.
Break, let him out. Let him out.
And you saw the wobble there by Andre Berto.
Break, let him out. Let him out. Step back. Break, let him out. Let him out. Let him out. Let him out.
Widest round of the fight.
Better than the best round of some fights we've seen.
Listen to me, you hear me? I hear you. You're gonna be the world champion. You're winning. You're beating him. You're beating him. Come on, be strong.
A little more?
The jab in his face.
A little more.
Work that body, man. You gotta hit him in the body.
Yeah, if you hit the body, you'll see a huge difference. Every time you jab, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Listen,
Deep
just
breath,
listen to
Mikey.
your box, and this thing is beautiful. You stand there, it's hard. I don't want to see it, okay? You gotta you gotta touch it with more than one, okay? Put them together. Let's go, work.
It sounds to me, Emmanuel Stewart, as though Tony Morgan is trying to get Andre Berto to box. He asked him to jab.
Let's go.
He's trying to sit back and try to catch Ortiz coming in with one perfect shot. But, you know, it's going to be very tough because Ortiz is so determined. And as hurt as he was a couple of rounds back, he still came back the next round fighting with the same energy and the same spirit that he had throughout the entire fight.
There are a lot of ways for a fighter to make an imprint with his skill. But it's really difficult, isn't it, to change a slugfest into a boxing match in midstream?
Yes. Once you get in that pattern, you can't break it up. It's very, very, very difficult.
Well, especially because neither one is as fresh and their legs aren't as good as they were earlier. Berto likes to say that skills pay the bills, meaning boxing is better than brawling, but he's got himself into a serious brawl tonight.
All right, let's go.
And he may get more recognition, Jim, if he loses this fight than for any fight that he's won.
It's amazing that the power that's still, even though Berto's legs seem to be gone, when he punches with still tremendous power.
The slugfest continues in round 8 in Connecticut.
Right, let him out, let him out, let him out. Let's go.
An amazing display of tenacious, hard punching by both fighters so far, but especially by Victor Ortiz.
Let's go. I got it. Step back. You hit him in the back of the head, all right? Be careful.
Michael Ortega warning Ortiz for hitting Berto in the back of the head.
I think Ortega has
Keep your punches in front. You hit him back here. Let's go.
has injected himself too much into this fight.
Let him out.
Maybe he's gotten too excited by all these knockdowns. We're not here to see him.
Step back. Both of you, step back. Let's go. Watch behind the head.
That seems to be Berto's favorite punch he's trying to land, is to just pull a little step back when Ortiz comes in and shoot the right hand.
Both fighters seem now excited and energized by the nature of the fight they're in.
Let him out. Step back. Box.
Berto, as you mentioned, had a history of these kind of tumultuous fights in the amateurs. Of course, in the amateurs, you have headgear on.
Step back.
Yeah.
Step back. Time.
When you box, you touch a move.
On the next Real
It's
Sports,
beautiful.
an innovative program in which doctors donate their services to financially stressed former athletes suffering from injuries and addiction. And May 21, it's the rematch of the disputed draw between light heavyweight champion Jean Pascal and Bernard Hopkins. Also that night, Chad Dawson returns to the ring for the first time since his loss to Pascal, taking on Adrian Diacanu.
Don't throw that one by itself, because he's catching you. Don't throw that one by itself. We always told you not to throw that one by itself. Don't throw the left by itself. Get in, use the combinations and the uppercuts on the inside. You're strong. Be strong. Victor, you've got to be fast. Be ballsy. Close it up. You got to do it.
Out. Hey, keep it clean, man. Keep it clean. Let's go. Box.
Of the 290 combined landed punches through the 8th round, 255 of them have been power shots. In other words, the two fighters have combined to land only 35 jabs in the entire fight. As we mentioned, the slugfest all the way. Andre Berto is settling into a little bit more of a boxing groove here in the last couple of rounds, as trainer Tony Morgan has asked him to remember that he has a good jab.
Keep the punches in front. Keep them in front.
Ortiz, for his part, intelligently wants to keep banging away.
Right, you're holding. Come on, let's go. Stop the holding. Come out. Let's go.
You mentioned yesterday to Ortiz, Larry, that he threw very few jabs against Lamont Peterson.
He landed
Maybe at the end of the day, yeah.
2 jabs in 8 and 10 rounds. He doesn't use his jab very much. It's just a radar weapon.
Right, let him out. Let's go. Let him out. That's a holding.
And it's amazing at this pace that they've been fighting that they're still throwing punches with full power and all the way through. There's never been any lack of power in the punches. And especially Berto, which is surprising me. As tired as he seemed earlier, he's still punching with full power.
But I noticed that Harold Letterman gave the last round to Berto, and in this round, Berto has been the busier of the two. The fact that he will throw his jab, and Ortiz is still trying to load up power punches, is giving Berto a chance to win the quiet rounds here. And fans may be surprised to see scorecards winding up fairly even toward the end of the fight, when most of the spectacle has been provided by Ortiz.
I disagree with Harold on the last round. I have Ortiz winning comfortably,
That's the back of the head.
but he's not going to lay back the way he did in the Peterson fight.
Now let's see if he gets penalized, because that's the second time that he has hit Andre Berto behind the head.
But Andre was holding his hand, I think, and forcing him that way.
Next time you hit behind the head, I'm going to take a point. You understand that? Okay.
Ortega says next time, not this time. Ortiz needs to be careful not to hit Berto behind the head again.
Let him out.
They're trading shots in close.
Break. Let him out.
It looks, Emmanuel, as though Berto hasn't been able to pull the trigger as much as he...
Yes, he's taking a little step back halfway, but he can't throw the right hand.
Let's take a look at some highlights from a bout that appeared on the card earlier this evening. The man on the right is Thomas Delerme, I should say, a welterweight prospect from Puerto Rico. You saw the first of his knockdowns there against Harrison Cuello of Dominican Republic. Now watch the counter shot with the left. You don't see it done very better than that.
No.
And the spectacular knockout in the second round for Delerme keeps him unbeaten, and we will no doubt be seeing more of him in the future.
Change your mind and start boxing. It's all you have to do is box. It's so simple. Listen, that'll come.
Or you come back with the right.
That'll come. We're gonna touch that body, okay?
It doesn't seem that simple to me, Emmanuel. If he just boxes in these last 3 rounds, if he doesn't do something to assert himself, I'm not sure he can pull this out.
No, because Ortiz is still fighting with his legs, his good bounce, good spring and energy in it, and he's got to try to land that right hand.
Well, let's get the numerical drama from Harold Letterman. Harold, how do you have it so far?
Okay, Jim, you guys are all right. 86, 83, 6 rounds to 3, Victor Ortiz. There's no question that Andre Berto's got to do something spectacular in the last 3 rounds to catch up or to win this fight. Victor Ortiz, the busier guy, landing the hard shots, winning most of those the last 4 or 5 rounds. Andre Berto's just, not busy enough. He needs one big shot. He's really got to do something spectacular. 86, 83.
Come on.
Here's the shot. Michael Ortega discerns that Ortiz hit Berto in the back of the head, and now he's going to take a point.
I think that's a terrible call.
No, he was bending his head down. The guy was throwing his punches.
Tremendous break for Berto. Gets him 1 point closer on the card.
That's the second break Berto has gotten, including the second knockdown earlier in the fight.
You good? You sure you got time?
And giving Berto this time is another break.
Good? Okay. Go, time in. Break. Let him go. All right, listen, you're holding, okay?
Now Ortega tells Berto he's holding.
Break, step back.
I do like the way he breaks him up quickly and doesn't let those clinches go on.
And now Ortiz seems motivated to try to put the power imprint back on the fight, having had a point taken away. This, no doubt, is the motivation to try to make the round an even round, now that you've given away a point. Ortiz needs to be certain that he doesn't get too reckless here and walk into another right hand from Berto.
Yes, Berto was still punching with full power.
But he is determined to not let happen what happened in the Peterson fight, where he thought he was winning and all he had to do was box for 4 or 5 rounds.
It's a mark of how weak Berto's legs are.
Very difficult for him to pick himself up.
Let's go. Break, step back. Watch your
and
head.
if his legs are that badly weak, Emmanuel, maybe he's not punching at full power anymore.
No, he still punches with full power.
Let him out.
Strange fighter. Very unusual man.
We should remind everybody.
Good left hand by Ortiz.
That Berto is ranked only behind Pacquiao and Mayweather in the welterweight division. And that this is the first fight.
Looks like there's a new welterweight in town, and his name is Victor Ortiz.
And this is the first fight Ortiz has ever fought at this weight.
That's right.
Watch your head.
Fighting like a man possessed against Andre Berto.
Let's go.
Well, it looks like he evened out that round.
That's too much. I worry about it. Yes, I do. That's a point. You said that's a point, Rev. That's too much golden. Lo estás haciendo bien, Víctor. Lo vas a ganar.
You're very good. You're going to beat him. You win that round. You're winning. There's 2 more rounds, Victor, and you will be the world champion.
Okay? No se me descuide, Victor.
But you have to put shit together. It's not going to come with one punch.
It's not.
Okay? It's not going to come with one punch. So you got to be sharp, okay? Sharpness is what's going to do it, okay?
Here you see where the point was deducted from Ortiz when he threw a left-handed miss. Berto went down trying to avoid punch, which he should, and here he's hitting him back. And it's just one of those situations where I would not have taken a point myself if I was a referee.
Well, that brings up an interesting discussion, meaning when would you take a point if the guy gets hit in the back of the head? Because
not if the guy was down, holding his head, and you purposely hit him. That was in the midst of throwing an exchange of punches.
Power shots in the 10th round. Ortiz doubling Berto. 22 out of 54 to 12 out of 31 for Berto. And Ortiz succeeded in evening the round despite having lost the point because of hitting behind the head. That was his mission clearly after the referee's ruling, and he got it done. At least on Harold Letterman's card.
Let him out. Step back.
Befitting his status, Berto is a overwhelming favorite to retain his title. Right now, before we know what happens for the next 5 minutes of this fight, he could be an ex-champion.
Be careful, that was close, behind the head.
Ortiz has done much better work to the body, Emmanuel.
Yes, he's doing everything perfect. He doesn't. If even though he would go in and then take a step back, he would be better because they keep colliding. They're going right together. If he would just move forward and then pull back for a minute and have Berto off balance.
Berto looks really out of it right now.
This is the way Berto looked in rounds 1 and 2 when he couldn't hold off the charging Ortiz and wound up against the ropes, trying to get the ropes to help him stand up.
Referee looks like he would stop the fight if Ortiz would land another
And Ortiz is doing just what he should. He's working that right uppercut right up through the center.
Berto glanced at his corner.
He's looking at the corner. He's been looking
at look.
And he's looking at the clock a lot often too on the wall over here. I've been watching him for the last 4 rounds.
Minutes still to go in the 11th round, and Ortiz is having his way again. Berto trying to change the fight with one big right hand.
Right, let him out, let him out. Go. Right, let him out. Step back, step back, step back. Right, step back, step back.
Ortiz is going to make a lot of fans with this performance. Fans love sluggers, and he's fighting like a full-on slugger.
Well, they promoted him a little too early as the next Oscar before the Maidana fight. The next Mexican-American who would be a big box office attraction. It's taken him this long to come back
but he's grown
and fulfill his promise through 11 rounds.
But he's grown into his boxing manhood tonight.
11 rounds in the books, and Victor Ortiz is on the threshold of a stunning upset, which will totally refurbish his image in the sport.
You understand me? You're winning by 5 points. 4 or 5 points, Victor. You're winning the fight. You're going to be the world champion. You are the world champion.
Listen, everything you got. You know what that means? Now we're going to find what you're made of, okay? Listen, we can't hold. We can't take a chance of a point. We got to go to work and try and get his ass out. You understand?
Okay,
push him back and come. Be ballsy and gutsy. This is his last round.
Inside of you, what you have inside of you, okay? But you got to make him believe that now, okay?
Well, I think Tony Morgan has the right idea. He's asking Andre Berto to knock Ortiz out. Berto only threw 19 punches in the 11th round. Danny Garcia has been largely a cheerleader throughout the fight for his fighter, Victor Ortiz. And that's pretty much all he's had to do because Victor has been bringing it in every single round.
Well,
sportsmanlike hug to begin the 12th.
Ortiz right now, I think, is the welterweight champion of the WBC. Question is, can he hold it for one more round?
You know, to tell your fighter that he's up by 5 points or a major margin like that, I would not do that. That's the choice of the corner.
What should Ortiz be doing now?
I would just tell him, listen, you got to fight one. You know, don't take any chances, but still keep fighting the fight you're doing.
I don't know if he knows how to fight without taking chances. At this point, Emmanuel, he has created for himself a style which is about risk, and he just got hit with 2 big shots by Andre Berto, a right and a left, and that's why he's holding on right now. Berto had a moment.
I think it surprised a lot of people, most of all, how well he's taken some of Ortiz's big punches, even though he went down twice.
Another big left hand for Ortiz. Berto eating that shot the way he has eaten them all night long. Minute and a half to go. 90 seconds left for Berto to try to rescue his position in the welterweight division.
Step back. Step back. Break. Careful on the back, please. Be careful.
Victor Ortiz has a wonderful smile. He has a magical backstory. There were some in the past several months who wondered whether he really had the commitment, the soul, the heart of a fighter. No one will question his heart after tonight.
Now will they question Berto neither.
Step back.
It's been a courageous show by both fighters.
The stock of both fighters went up.
But if the stock of both fighters went up, the stock of Ortiz skyrockets to another stratosphere. And fans will not be able to wait to see him back in the ring. This was excitement. This was war.
Step back. Take time.
Barring a stunning reversal on the judges' cards, Victor Ortiz has the victory of a lifetime.
We've seen fighters like Klitschko and Lennox Lewis, now Amir Khan, come back from knockouts. And now we have seen Maidana erase the scarlet letter on his back.
Ortiz.
Ortiz.
Harold, how'd you score it?
115, 110, 8 rounds for Victor Ortiz, 3 rounds for Andre Berto, 1 round even, Jim.
All right, now we're going to see significant highlights from the fight, and I miscounted the knockdowns because, frankly, there seemed to be a bushel of them. Round 1, down goes Berto on big shots by Ortiz in the corner. This is the second trip to the canvas in the round for Berto. The first one was ruled a trip. Round 2, Berto gets his on a counter right hand, boom. Ortiz knocked down, and the glove holds him back up. Memorable 6th round, all-out war between the two fighters. First, Berto knocks Ortiz down with a perfect right hand. And at that moment, it appeared that Berto was in position to reverse the fight. But in the closing seconds of the round, Ortiz knocked Berto back down. And then from that point forward, Berto never seemed to be the same threat to Ortiz again. Ortiz lost a point in the 10th round for hitting behind the head. But because of his general dominance throughout the fight, he winds up with a comfortable margin on Harold Letterman's scorecard, and we assume victory on the other scorecards as well, though of course it isn't official yet. Originally from Garden City, Kansas, now living in the boxing county of Ventura County, California, Sergio Martinez is there. He's there. Trainer Danny Garcia, his trainer. Trainer Robert Garcia, who is training a variety of other fighters. Martinez trained by Gabriel Sarmiento. They're all in Ventura County, where fans will be awaiting Victor Ortiz for a return celebration. And now let's go to ring announcer David Diamante with the scores.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action here at the MGM Grand at Foxwoods, we go to the judges' scorecards. Clark Sammartino scored this contest 115 to 110. Glenn Feldman scored this contest 114 to 112. And Judge Julie Letterman scored this contest 114 to 111. For your winner by unanimous decision and new WBC welterweight champion of the world, Vicious Victor Ortiz.